Are you tired of heavy foundation that cake up by midday but still want that even flawless looking skin? Well, then a skin tint might be your best friend. In this video, I'll be reviewing this skin tint as the Syca Tint of You Tinted Moisturizer. We'll be diving deep into the coverage, wear time, and everything in between. So stick around to see if the skin tint is a huge fail or holy grail. So this skin tint is actually pretty affordable. It's priced at around 159,000 rupiah. You get 35 grams in here, and the packaging is made of glass and it's kind of frosted as well. So it's a very high quality packaging. It feels quite heavy as well, so it's not really travel friendly. This product has a really lightweight and blendable formula, so your makeup can sit well on your face. It feels silky to the skin and it's really easy to blend. This skin tint leaves a dewy finish and creates that glowy look. So if you have oily skin and you want more of a matte coverage, you can use a setting powder on top of your skin to give it a mattifying look. The coverage of the skin tint is light to medium and it's somewhat buildable. It will look really natural on your skin. My forehead actually has somewhat of a bumpy texture, so if I apply the skin tint on top of my forehead, it will not make my skin look cakey. The skin tint does crease on my nose area and my eyelids, especially my eyelids because my eyelids are pretty oily. So the skin tint kind of disappears and pulls on the creases of my eyelids. You will have to set it with a liberal amount of setting powder if you do have oily eyelids, which I do. If I apply a setting powder, it does mitigate the creasing problem, but on my skin that doesn't have creases like that, the skin tint does look really natural, and after a while, it really blends into my skin. The skin tint is really easy to use. You don't really need any kind of brushes. All you need is your hand to blend it out, but I do like to use a makeup spatula and a beauty blender to help blend things out better because I feel like it makes my skin looks more natural. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use my hand to show you that you don't really need any kind of tools to blend this out. What I like to do is to put it on the back of my hand, just like that, and just apply it on my skin. As you can probably tell, the coverage is pretty sheer. They currently have 5 shades, and this is the lightest shade that I have. This is the shade Light. They do have deeper shades for deeper skin tones, but this is actually the lightest one. This has kind of a cool undertone, and it's pretty much the only one with a cool undertone. And my skin does lean toward a cooler undertone, so it's very easy to blend this. And the coverage is actually pretty good because the redness on my cheek is already pretty evened out. But yeah, I'm going to continue building this and I'll be right back. So this is how my skin looks like with the tinted moisturizer. I will do a wear test at the end of the day so I can tell you how it looks like after several hours. So here's the finished makeup look, and because I have oily skin, I do have to set my face with a setting powder. But if you have normal to dry skin, then you don't need a setting powder at all because this is a moisturizer. I'm going to use a tissue to do a little bit of a transfer test and then use a mask later on. So this is how it looks if I pat on a tissue paper on my face. This is how much it transferred. I think it does transfer a little bit. Honestly, I'm not too sure if what transferred was the setting powder or the skin tint because my setting powder does have a little bit of a tint in it. Editing Michelle chiming in here. Based on past experiences, the skin tint has a minimum amount of transfer unless you create a friction on your skin, such as blowing your nose, wiping your face after sweating excessively. So if you want your makeup to last, stay away from your face. Also, here's me applying a mask, and I did try to create as many friction as I could in a few seconds of wearing it, and it did transfer a little bit, but not a whole lot that it would remove the makeup from your face. This is how my skin looks like after about 6 hours, I would say. I applied powder on top of the skin tint after I've put on my makeup and everything. The area around my nose has kind of disappeared because I did use a tissue to blow my nose earlier. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but it's kind of cakey and the pigments are kind of clinging on the dry patches. So if you're using the skin tint, make sure you've exfoliated and have a smooth canvas for your face. You can probably tell how it's sitting on my face, but on my cheek, it looks really smooth and kind of skin-like. So my forehead is pretty bumpy and it's kind of textured, so using a foundation doesn't always look smooth, but the skin tint doesn't make my forehead look cakey at all. If you're looking for a lightweight complexion product, do consider this because I think this product is pretty great. If you like this video, click the like button and consider subscribing for more reviews and makeup tips.